Ashley Oliphant, are you there?
Morning.
Morning, are you Ashley?
No, my name is Monica.
Okay, you're not to do with Layla Elder then?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Edwin,
Yes.
Ashley and her husband are in the lobby at the detentions at Kimbo.
Okay, can you, Dana, give them my contact information because I've not heard from them.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is the detention docket for Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 29 related to the coronavirus, we are not conducting in-person proceedings. However, we are using a reasonable alternative, which is Zoom. In order to comply with the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, also known as the Open Courts Act, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube so the public can observe what occurs inside a public courtroom. This is a court hearing. The court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. That means you are not to be in bed, you're not to be in the bathroom, you're not to be laying down. Please don't have any bright lights behind you because that creates a shadow of your face where the court cannot see you. Please refrain from having blinking Christmas lights or ceiling fans behind you as well. And if you are driving, the court expects you to pull over, even if you're not the driver, as the moving background is a distraction for the rest of the people attending this hearing. Your cameras are expected to be on unless you're an officer of the court. If you're an officer of the court, and if you are, then you know who you are, then we know you're going to behave appropriately. So Ms. Amanda Pruitt, we do expect you to have your camera on. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go and start with Jalen Rice, who should be in the Tarrant County Jail. Sheriff, do we have this child here? Okay, I don't think the jail's quite made it yet. We'll go ahead and put Mr. Rice on the back burner until we have the sheriff log in. We'll go with Marquise Gonzalez. Marquise Gonzalez?
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Gonzalez. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge in 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you need to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to remain silent, and you have a right to an attorney. Ms. Jacobson has been appointed attorney for the time being. All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, you are 16, almost 17 years old. You have never been here before. And so let's see, the SRO at Crowley Learning Center said that a student walked off campus. When he got there, several personnel with Marquise on the parking lot, banging his head on a car. And it was one of the other teacher's car. There was another teacher's car that he did the same thing, also causing damage. I guess Mr. Kroll, he caused damage to both cars?
Yeah, it looks like there was damage to both cars from hitting the car with his forehead.
Okay.
Just an update, he is CPS custody out of the Houston area. He was currently in a placement here. I have had no contact with CPS. Just here shortly, I was able to get their information so I can follow up. I do know they are aware he's here. The foster home he is in notified CPS of his detention and arrest prior to him making it to our doors.
Okay. Does the foster home want him back?
They currently have a 30-day dismissal on him that was entered prior to this incident.
Okay. All right. All right. So then you got a 1187, walked in the center turn lane down the road, and that's where I told you to get in the car. You refused. So they detained you. You pulled away. You had to be taken to the ground. You struck the SRO on the head, causing pain. And then the school said you got angry after being told to throw some trash away. All right, so, and that's where you got upset because you were supposed to throw away trash. Well, Marquise, now you're looking at a felony offense for hitting the officer, a felony offense for the criminal mischief for damaging the car. Tell you what, so he is out of Harris County, Mr. Kroll?
That's what I have right now. I'll follow up and get more information today. I know they're aware, but they haven't reached out to us.
Okay, well, tell them that we're gonna set this for tomorrow for a detention hearing again. Tell the department that they need to have a representative here so I can figure out what's going on. So at this point, I'm gonna detain him. Marquise, we're gonna see you tomorrow. I wanted Representative CPS to figure out what's going on. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you're detained. Thank you, sir. All right, I think the sheriff had logged in. Mr. Rice, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I've been here for 10 days, so I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days. Mr. Rice, I remember you were held downtown at the Tarrant County Jail because we had a detention hearing and you refused to come to court. And so I have deep concerns about releasing you to the community because I'm not sure you will come to court if I was to release you. So I'm ordering you detained. Thank you, Mr. Rice.
Can I say something, sir? Can I say something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
He actually has a, he's actually ready to waive his certification if possible and be certified as, he wants to waive his certification to see if he can be certified as an adult and have his case transferred to the county.
He needs to talk to Mr. Gladstone about that, his attorney.
I've been trying to get hold of him, Judge. It's a little hard to get hold of him at the Tarrant County Jail, and I'm not going down there. I was going to ask you to be transferred to juvenile while this is pending so I could have some interaction with him, but that's up to the court. I mean, I do need to talk to him, and we've been talking about a conference call, but it hadn't gone through yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on quarantine down there. He's been on quarantine like every other day. They get out, then they go back. And he's only allowed to use the phone a certain amount of times during the day. So by the time we get to Mr. Gladstone, his office is closed because he normally calls about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, you're not, Ms. Rice, you're not going to get sympathy from me about Mr. Gladstone not communicating because he is one of the best attorneys.
No, I'm not saying he's not communicating because I have been talking to him. What I'm saying is that every time, Jalen has to call in the evening, and that's, past his office hours.
Okay. All right.
So that's why. I mean, he's a good attorney, so I'm not doubting that at all.
Right. Okay. Mr. Gladstone, I mean, I don't want to do this indefinite because Mr. Rush created such a problem before. All right. So what are you asking for? Give me something. What are you asking for? Be more specific.
I'm asking that he be transferred back to juvenile so I can deal with him. He has a certification hearing on the 7th. He's talked about possibly waiving it. I've spoken to the DA about that, but I really need to have an in-depth conversation with him about this issue before we make a decision.
Okay. On the 7th of January?
I believe that's the date. I don't have my calendar in front of it, but I believe that sounds right.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rice, your attorney is going to bat for you on this one, right? I don't like it, but it's a reasonable request, so I'm going to go with it. Okay? So you have your chance. I'll bring you back here to Kimbo, but I'm letting you know if you do not behave here, I will send you back to Tarrant County. It'll be a result of your behavior. So if you go back to downtown jail because you can't behave here, then you're not going to get sympathy from me for a second time.
Judge, may I ask my client if that's what he wants to do? I haven't had a conversation with him regarding the transfer either.
Sure.
Can you verify that he wants to do that?
Please proceed.
Jalen?
Man, I'd rather just stay here and take certification, to be honest.
Okay, I mean, I really need to talk to you at length, and that's why I wanted you to move to juvenile. But if you want to stay there, I will try to contact. Go ahead.
Wrapping on that, Jalen, why don't you go back there so he can have communication with you, and so that y'all can get a better understanding of what you're looking at. I mean, he hasn't been able to communicate with you since all this is going on, and I don't blame him for not wanting to go down there to see you. So it might be better for you to go back to Kimbo and then figure it out from there.
It's y'all's call. If y'all need to contact me at 8 o'clock, I can give you a contact number here at the house, and we can talk in the evening if that's what you want to do. I can make that available.
Jalen, do you want to think about it, or do you want to just go back to Kimbo and work on it from there? Because
I'd rather stay here. Okay,
that's fine. Then Mr. Rice, we'll somehow do the conference call sometime in the evening here at the house.
Okay, so I'll contact you when we're done.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, everyone. All right, Sheriff, thank you for bringing this inmate. We appreciate it. All right, so Jonathan Leonard. All right, Mr. Leonard, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When the kid's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Lofton.
Good morning.
All right, so Mr. Leonard, let's see, you are 17 this month.
Sir.
All right, so Haltom City were dispatched to a convenience store for a robbery in progress. The white male wearing gloves pulled out a knife, stole money from the till and several e-cigs before running out. Police came with a canine to track the suspect. Well, they found some gloves and e-cigs behind the packaging behind the store. Tracked to an apartment complex, and so they suspended the search. While working in his vehicle, he was approached by Jonathan's mother, who said that her son, who robbed the convenience store, she said she got a call from Jonathan's friend, told her that Jonathan called to pick him up. He had a bag full of cash and e-cigs. So police went over there, found Jonathan, money, some e-cigs. He admitted robbing the store with a kitchen knife, which he tossed afterwards. So he has some MHMR diagnosis. So this was, I guess, 2 days ago. So it came in too late. All right, so mom, are you here?
I'm here. I'm Jonathan's mom, Amanda.
Okay, so mom, so was he taking his medication on the 7th?
No, Jonathan was not. Jonathan has a dual diagnosis.
Right.
Having a really hard time getting, I can get substance help, but then I can't get mental help. If I get mental help, I can't get substance help. Jonathan ran away Saturday night, Sunday morning. I'm working with an MHMR worker. Her name's Amanda Pruitt. I think she's on here too. We have a bed for him at Phoenix House that we're trying to get in place. It was just a 2-day waiting. Amanda is still actively working with the Phoenix House to get him in there. It's an extensive program.
Did you bring his medication with you today?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, great. So Jonathan, at this point, what I can do is I'm going to detain you. I'm just worried about your behavior, how serious it is. And so I want you to I want to see if you can take your medication. And if you can, you're level 1-0, you hold it for 3 days, I will release you back to your mom. Mom, it sounds like if he's on his medication, you're okay with it. Mom, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Jonathan, you understand, I'm putting it on you. You take your medication, you behave here, then I know you can behave at home. But if you're going to refuse to take your medication or separately your behavior level drops, then I'm not going to let you go. So I'm just putting on you. Either you focus and do what it takes to get out of here, or you just stay here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions for me?
So from here, I will be able to take Jonathan, keep doing my part in getting Jonathan ready to go to the Phoenix House?
Yes, you can. You may want to continue with that process. If Jonathan does everything right, he'll be out of here in about 5 days, 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Okay, out of here, like, what does out of here mean? Like,
out of our detention facility.
With what stipulations?
Well, he'll have a pending case, but his stipulation is to follow your rules and do what you say as mom. If he doesn't, if you call us and say he's out of control, we'll just bring him back here.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Pruitt.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Your Honor, are you going to want him on the EM?
Mom, does he have a history of running? I mean, you said he ran away this one time. Is it a one-off or does he do it consistently?
I would be worried about Jonathan leaving again.
Okay. Let's do an EM. Mom, you want us to give him a drug test?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, let's go ahead and get a lab drug.
What is EM?
I'm sorry?
What is EM?
It's an electronic monitor. It's a GPS bracelet.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for allowing me to proceed getting him mental help.
And we strive for the EM to mean exceptional man, but that's...
Mr. Lofton, that is you. All right, Ms. Pruitt, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, Your Honor. I will call Phoenix House again and let him know that as long as Jonathan behaves, then we're looking at 4 to 5 days, because I know he was wanting the screening person there was wanting another screening done because of the events that have happened since the last screening. So
they may actually find the drug test beneficial as well.
Okay. Okay.
And despite what the UA results are, he can still leave as long as he's 1-0 for 3 days?
Yeah, so right now it'll be the screen. I would like the labs. So there's levels that I can take week to get back.
Yeah.
I think that's more for information for JPD, Phoenix House, Mom. I think it's really more information for everyone, just to have that. Unless, Mom, would you rather do a hair follicle test? That goes back longer. It goes back about 6 months.
Jonathan was clean until 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, Ms. Pruitt, you think of UA is better? What do you prefer?
UA, I think the lab UAs are good. That's what we do. So we can get levels as well. I just haven't been able to lab test him yet. So I think that the lab UA should be fine. And then when we get those results, I can also pass those along to Phoenix House as well.
Great. Sounds good.
God bless
Thank
y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see.
Did you get to talk to Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, I did.
We'll go Malachi Lester. Malachi Lester. All right, Mr. Lester, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to an attorney. You have a right to remain silent. Ms. Sherman is your attorney. All right, Malachi, you're 15 years old. You were here for assault and violence back in March of 19. Yesterday,
Yes.
you called for domestic. When they got there, met with Dad so that you had come out of your room angry, accused him of taking his Apple TV device, and in retaliation, took Dad's phone. Argument, Malachi's mom stepped in, and Dad is still disabled, discharged from the military. And Mom was trying to separate you and Dad. You pushed Mom, which caused a fight with Dad. Dad slipped and fell with you landing on him. Hit him about 8 times in the head. And you admitted striking your dad while confronted by the police. You're positive for weed. So, all right, do we have Mom or Dad here?
Yeah, right here.
All right, so Mom, Dad. I mean, straight up, tell me what you think. Is Malachi ready to come home, or do we need cool off?
Oh no, he ain't coming home. We've been dealing with this for many years. And
Okay, hold on, Dad. I'm letting you know you can't make that decision on whether he's coming home. That's my decision, okay? So I'm asking for your input, sir, and I'm asking, I want to work together with you, but at the end of the day, it's a lot better if we work together rather than telling each other what to do. Okay, is that fair enough?
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Good. All right, so tell me this is an ongoing problem with Malachi?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Over
How-
here.
Has he had mental health diagnoses?
Yes.
Okay, what is he diagnosed with?
Depression and conduct disorder.
Okay, so is he on medication for that?
He won't take medication.
Yes, he is on well, he's not on it because he won't take it.
But he's prescribed, right?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
it's been over a year.
Oh, okay. So does he refuse to go to the doctor as well?
Yeah, he doesn't want to do therapy. He doesn't want to do any of it.
Okay.
Can I?
Hold on, sir. You have the right to remain silent. At this point, you should probably use it. I'm talking to your parents. Okay. So, Mom, Dad, was he ever taking his medication?
At one point, yes, but not as, he wasn't always consistent.
Okay. When he was on it, did you notice a difference?
No,
Okay. How long did you take it for?
about 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, around 3 years, so somewhere in there.
Okay, so you've been taking it for about 3 years and you didn't notice a difference?
No, and they tried different medications too and nothing.
In different doses. And
Right.
Okay. All right. So, and you're saying he has conduct disorder and what else?
Depression.
Okay. Did you bring the medication with you today?
No, because we don't have it anymore. It's so old.
Mom, I'm not being. I'm making notes, and I just want the yes or no. So it's not.
No.
I understand why you didn't bring it because you didn't take it, but it's possible that you did bring it, and I didn't want you to bring it for no reason.
I got you. I understand.
Okay, so I understand. Sounds like you two probably haven't spent much time in court, which is fine. It's a good thing. but I promise you, it's the juvenile court. The parents in the court should not be adversarial, right? We should be working together to do what's best for your kid. Nobody is doubting that you love Malachi. You want Malachi to do well, but I understand your frustration in that you're at the point now where I guess for whatever reason, whatever you've been doing hasn't been working. So let's try something new. Let's twist around a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So at this point, then what I'm going to do is, Malachi, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. I'm ordering a psychiatric evaluation. You need to cooperate with the doctor. If you don't cooperate with the doctor, you will not get any points for the day. If you don't get points, so you won't get to level 1 outstanding. If you don't get to level 1 outstanding, you will not get out of here. All right, so that I will not start the consideration of releasing you until you're level 1 outstanding. Yes. So Malachi, if you have a question for me, I'm more than happy to answer it. If you want to tell me something, I promise you, your attorney, Ms. Sherman, does not want you to tell me anything because she doesn't want you to admit anything or put yourself in a spot. So Malachi, do you have a question for me?
Yes. Oh, it's kind of more of a statement when they.
Hold on. If it's a statement, Ms. Sherman, is it fair to say, Ms. Sherman, you don't want him to make a statement?
Absolutely.
Okay. So your attorney is advising you do not make a statement. Now, if you have a question, Ms. Sherman, I mean, it's okay for him to ask me a question, right? I mean, that's,
yes.
Okay. Malachi? I'm sorry?
That's, I got no.
Okay. So your attorney will make contact with you. You can tell her everything that you want. I encourage you to be open and forthcoming with her. But sometimes kids tell me something and they admit to stuff that actually, because you understand there's a district attorney that's part of this Zoom hearing and they're typing away notes. The last thing you want to do is give the DA something to make your attorney's job harder. Does that make sense?
Yes, but it was just something to add on to what my parents said about treatment.
Oh, well, hold on. And the thing is, don't think just because your parents said it, I'm assuming it's true. Okay? And don't think just because you tell me something, I'm going to assume you're telling me the truth either. Right? I'm the judge. I kind of find the middle, right? There's a saying, there's his side, her side, and then there's the truth in the middle. And I just kind of look at the middle. So my decision right now is that you have a diagnosis, or your parents say you do, and that I want to make sure that you're on medication. I am trying to find a reason to release you from here. Okay? But it's going to take you to be level 1-0. So do you have a question for me?
Yes. Am I going to have to be put on medication?
You will. So once the doctor prescribes medication, you will, if you don't take your medication, you cannot get to level 1 outstanding. Okay? You will have to.
But medication doesn't do anything for me.
So that's when you have to talk to the doctor and adjust the medication. Okay? And there's a certain point where if it doesn't work, the doctor will tell me, say, Judge, I prescribed this medication. We played with the dosages. This cannot be treated because the problems are organic. Then we'll take you off medication. That's no longer an issue. Okay? But you've got to talk to the doctor. This isn't going to happen without a doctor. Mr. Lewis, we probably want to order a psychological too. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir. At some point, definitely.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. I think we'll definitely need it down the road, so might as well have it started sooner. So Malachi, you will have a psychiatric evaluation and a psychological evaluation. There's 2 different doctors you have to talk to. One's a PhD, one's an MD. Okay. All right. Any Paris, were you saying something?
That's okay.
Okay. All right, Malachi, just hey, look, when you dug yourself into a hole, just stop digging. Okay.
Well, okay.
Don't make it worse. Yes, sir.
Well, they was already telling me that I couldn't go back home, and like that's kind of what I'm set on too.
No, you can, but I'm not gonna. All the kids, they'll tell you. I don't let kids go if they're not level 1-0. Very, very rare that I let a kid go that's not level 1 outstanding. Because if you can't behave here, you're not going to behave at home. And I'm not going to let you go back home if you can't behave there.
Well, like that's the thing. I can behave anywhere else.
Hold on.
It's just home.
Show me. Prove it to me. Prove it here, level 1 outstanding, and we'll talk about giving you a chance.
Yes, sir.
But just because you tell me doesn't mean you understand. A lot of kids come here and just tell me I can do it, but they don't. Prove to me, and then we can start the conversation. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, Alexis Clark.
Don't meet with Mr. Lewis beforehand.
Yeah. I'm here.
All right. Hello, Ms. Clark. I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing. Deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days. Now, Alexis, somebody told me that you'd rather go to Tarrant County Jail?
Yes.
Okay. You are 17 years old. you're level 1 outstanding. If that's your choice, then I will honor your request. But you understand you cannot make bond if you're in downtown county jail, right? Okay, I just want to make sure you understand. You understand you don't have your own pods, right?
Yes.
You understand the food's much worse.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Call, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, for current situation, Parker County did issue a DTA Monday.
Okay.
We're trying to pick her up yesterday and place her at, they don't have their own detention facility, so they use Granbury. Granbury was currently locked down due to COVID.
Okay.
So they were supposed to follow up with me today and let me know what the current plan is after they spoke with
Sure. All right, so Alexis, this is the deal. I will go ahead and transfer you down to the Tarrant County Jail.
Okay.
All right. But you understand, Parker County's looking for you, and they will pick you up and transfer you whenever the lockdown stops in Granbury. Okay.
Yes.
So that's going to be up to you or up to them on where you're actually housed. But you're being respectful, and since you're level 1 outstanding now, and you're asking to go there, if you tell your attorney or Mr. Call that you want to come back to Kimbo, I'll let you come back to Kimbo.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Judge.
Joshua Collins.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Collins, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Berger is here. Do you have a parent for Mr. Collins?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm covering for Mr.
Okay.
Dodson. Mom's here.
All right, so Mr. Collins, you're 16. Back in November, police were dispatched for a call with a gun. Let's see, victim said she drove up home in a red Toyota. Wait, victim reported that Elizabeth drove up to her home in a red Toyota. Several people in the car, including Joshua. Elizabeth went up to the house, wanted to fight the victim's kids. Mother told Elizabeth to leave. She got back to the car. And Elizabeth returned and said, I'm going to feel bad when your son gets shot and this whole place gets shot up. The driver pointed a gun at the house. Elizabeth left. Vehicle was later pulled over. There's a BB gun under the seat. He is level 1 outstanding. He was positive for marijuana. Let's see. He was on probation, but it expired. All right, Joshua. So I'm glad you're level 1O. That means a lot to me. Keep it up. I'm not, because the alleged conduct of you holding up, even though it wasn't a real gun, right? But the fact that you held up what looked like a gun, and it was contemporaneous. It was along at the same time with Elizabeth making that threat. I'm not quite comfortable yet. Okay. I'm about halfway there. Okay? I hope you understand that just because you're level 1O doesn't automatically get released. That opens up the conversation for me to consider it. Mom, are you talking to Joshua while he's here?
Yes.
Are you noticing a change in his behavior or attitude?
Yes.
Is this a humbling experience for him?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So Joshua, it seems like that night, if it's true, you made a really bad decision. And it seems like based on your behavior and what your mom is saying, you're starting to make better decisions. Keep it up. I'm not making promises, but you're on the right path. Okay. Don't get discouraged because I'm detaining you today. That doesn't mean I'm going to keep you forever. It just means your offense was so serious that I'm not quite comfortable yet. Okay. But I want to encourage you and let you know you are doing the right thing. Okay. You are on the right path. Just because I'm not releasing you today doesn't mean I'm angry with you or disappointed. It means I'm just not comfortable yet releasing you. Okay. All right. So I'm detaining you for now. We will see you in 10 days.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Marshall Dudley III. In case I'm not the one doing it. All right. Marshall Dudley. I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent, and you have a right to attorney. Ms. Barrows is here, and we have the parents here for Mr. Dudley. All right, Mr. Dudley, let's see. November 24th, police were dispatched a robbery. There was an ice cream seller and a gray Toyota pulled up. 3 black males with hoodies. 2 of them had guns. Victim pistol whipped, and one of the males held a gun to his head. Victim gave him $150. They left in the vehicle. They got a license plate, and the vehicle came back as stolen. When the police located the vehicle, 2 people took off running. One adult and Isaac Murray. And detained a short time later, marshals stayed in the vehicle. They found a firearm in the back of the vehicle. You had 1 write-up for slow to comply. All right, so mom and dad, y'all are here?
Yes.
Okay, so who's Isaac Murray?
Don't know.
You know, kids, I know as parents, we always want to know who our kids' friends are, and when they're 14, it's kind of hard, you know, to keep track of everything.
Right.
So, Mr. Kroll, were they able to identify who had the guns?
So the older adult male gave a statement to PD that he was the driver and the other 2 had the guns. No names were given.
Okay. All right, so mom and dad, let me ask you this. Any idea where the gun came from?
Not at all.
I mean, give me something. Like, I don't want you to think of this as like we're on the opposite team. We're on the same team. Okay? I mean, I would love, like, the best answer is like, Judge, it was my gun. He snuck in, he stole it, and he took it. Because that tells me he may not be able to just go on the street and buy another gun. Right?
Okay, well, that's not the case. Neither one of those firearms belonged to neither one of his parents whatsoever. I don't know who the other kids were. Have no idea where they came from. You know.
So are y'all mom and dad?
Yes.
And y'all are no longer together.
No.
But it's amazing. Y'all are co-parenting to be here together for him.
Yes.
All right. So where was Marshall living when this happened?
With his father.
With you. All right.
Yeah.
Has he lived with mom before?
Yes, sir.
Always.
Always. So was he just on vacation with dad, or like?
Yeah, you call it. Yeah.
Okay. So, mom, do you work?
Not right now.
So you're able to supervise him all day, every day?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Kroll, how old was the adult?
17.
And he's out on bond.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
I mean, I've always appreciated you so much. Your eternal optimism.
I know. And I thought I would just throw that out to try to get him out home on the monitor.
And I know why. And I just, like I said, I may be the eternal pessimist, but you're the eternal optimist.
He's on level 1. He has family support. Never been in trouble before.
Oh, no.
Get him home for the holidays, sir.
Mr. Kroll, what do you think?
Your Honor, what I can tell you is both parents have been very supportive in this process, calling in, checking in with me. He's done well in the back. I've spoke with him several times. He's taken my advice. I know he spoke with his attorney. I think he's young. I don't know what his involvement is in this because we don't have a clear layout in the police reports. I mean, I think with an EM and tight supervision, we can definitely keep a watch on this and bring him back in if need be. But he has shown his respect to me, and parents have been supportive.
Marshall? Look. Flat out, I'm gonna tell you, You jump back on the porch. All right? You need to get off the streets. You go back. You need to be a 14-year-old kid. Okay? If you're going to insist on doing grown-up things, I'm going to treat you like a grown-up. Okay? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt now, as a 14-year-old, that you made a 14-year-old dumb decision. Okay? What I'm going to let you know now, you are level 1-0. That means you can follow the rules. All right? What's the DNA back here, Marshall?
Not associate.
I'm sorry?
Not associate.
Do not associate. So if your mom or dad gives you a do not associate with any other person in the world, you understand you got to follow that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do it here, so that means I know you can do it at home. At this point, while this case is going on, you have to understand that your parents are setting the rules. You got to follow their rules, mom or dad. Okay? You may not like it, but Marshall, if you don't like it, you just let Mr. Kroll know and we'll bring you back here. Okay? Because I guarantee that no matter how bad life is in your mom or dad's house, it's not worse than it is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a choice you have to make. If you're ever frustrated with your mom or dad, you have to understand that the alternative is coming back to Kimbo. And I guarantee being with mom or dad is not so bad. Okay? If you step out, smoke weed, if you're doing any of these things, then we'll just bring you back here. Okay? Mom or dad, it is perfectly okay for you to tell your son to get off of social media.
Yes, none of that. All of that is gone. That's a wrap.
So, Marshall, just like you had to earn the chance to get out of here with me, you have to earn the chance to get back on social media or whatever with your parents. You have to prove to them first. You have lost the opportunity for them to assume you're going to do the right thing. Now you have to earn it back, right? And that's nobody's fault but yours. All right, Marshall, so understanding this, are you telling me you want me to release you?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to release you, but you understand, you're going to be on electronic monitor, all right? And mom and dad, if he causes any problems, let us know. I have no problem. This offense is so serious that I don't want to let him go right now,
right.
But I am, because both of you are here working past your own differences for your son, okay? And I'm giving credit for that. If it was only one of you, I may not be doing this, but the fact that you're both, whatever reason it didn't work out, you're both here for him, that tells me he has a very unique and healthy support system, so I'm giving him a chance. Marshall, don't waste this opportunity. Your parents went to bat for you. The least you can do is show them respect by respecting them when I let you out, all right?
Yes, sir.
So that's to Marshall. Marshall, do you understand? And you're good with this, right? All right. Okay, we'll go release some electronic monitor. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Layla Elder.
Wait in the lobby, Mr. Kroll, come back to work.
Young ones, that takes some time. I do love this. Great parents. All right, Layla, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing. I'm deciding whether to release you or keep you here. And if I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days. Mr. Youngblood is your attorney. So, see, November 20th, Halton was dispatched with theft. Mom said you stole her wedding ring and your sister's personal wallet. And so you should check you said in front of the police that mom should go check the pawn shops. So then on November 23rd, police were dispatched domestic. Mom, that happened on the 21st, which is the day after the stolen stuff. Mom said that you and her got in an argument. You caused her to flip over, hitting her head and lose consciousness. And she had a concussion out of that. You're positive for weed. You have a parent here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there we are. All right, Mom. Well, I've got questions. Well, I have a couple questions. First of all, Mr. Victorson, why is she level 1 acceptable instead of outstanding?
Well, her level dropped sometime in the last day or so, Your Honor, for some minor infractions. It looks like she did well. She got to level 1 within 4 days, and she maintained it for almost a week. And then she started having some minor problems with stepping out of line, or it said something about she was just non-compliant with staff, that she was sitting down after she'd been told 3 times not to. Some minor things. They were all minor violations.
So it's just like defiance. Like she's just not going to take instruction.
Your Honor, to use your words, she wants to be in control.
Right. Mom, does that sound familiar?
Very familiar.
Like it'll happen, but it's going to happen on her terms.
Always.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. Well, Layla, part of why you're here is for me to know that if I release you to Mom, that you're going to follow her rules on her terms, not your terms. All right. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know where I come from. You know what to expect. That's probably why you're crying right now. It's because you know the situation that you put yourself in. So you're going to detain you. We'll see you in 10 days. If you get your level 1 outstanding. And Mom, are you talking to her on her phone?
A few times I have.
Are you noticing any kind of change or transition?
I've noticed her, apologizing and everything, but I also still feel like she's not being truthful about the whole situation and what all happened. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like she's still trying to manipulate the situation and tell me what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Do you call her out on that?
Yes.
Okay.
And she just gets more upset.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're doing your job as a parent of just being forthcoming and honest with her, and she's refusing to accept her role as a child. She will have plenty of time when she's an adult to disagree with you and hold her own position. She just doesn't have that. Layla, you can't do that when you're 15. I mean, that's not your place. So you want to grow up, but this is what I tell a lot of the kids here. If you want to act like a grown-up, I'll treat you like a grown-up, and that means I don't let you go. But if you want to be a kid and be respectful to your parents, then I'll put you back in the home so you can be a kid. So it's really your choice. If you're going to stand up for what you think is your moral high ground and do it your way, then you're kind of limiting what I can do with you. So just be a kid. Just your mom wants you to be a 15-year-old girl.
I do too.
Well, I don't know about that. So Miss Youngblood, yes, you're on mute, but I'm willing to listen to you. Mr. Youngblood, you're still on mute.
Sorry. May I ask Mom 3 questions relevant to release?
Sure.
How many times has she run away in the last year?
At least 6 to 8.
Where does she go?
All to the drug houses and with bad people and stills and.
That was my 3rd question is, do you have any understanding of the reason for the theft? It sounds like drugs is the answer.
Drugs are being used and involved, and she's not making good lifestyle decisions because of the way she feels about herself internally for stuff that happened to her at 11 years old. She's got some major issues that she needs to deal with and face. I've put her in Millwood, JPS. I've done everything. Several years. She's been on medication. All she's doing is getting worse and worse and worse and digging her heels in instead of wanting to do what I tell her to do. She doesn't want to listen to me.
Okay, what illegal drugs are you confident that she's using? The only thing we know about is marijuana.
I'm not intending to release her right now. Right now, it's not. I mean, I'm just concerned detention or release. Yeah, I made up my mind not to release her. She's not level 1 outstanding. So
yes, sir. I want her to understand if you do release her, what is probably going to happen, which is I would assume electronic monitoring and also frequent drug tests.
It's gonna be a drug patch.
Okay.
Be a drug patch.
Anyway, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Youngblood. All right, Alexis, or Layla, we'll see you in a week or 2 weeks, and we'll decide what happens. But it's your decisions that put you here. It's your decisions that's going to get you out of here. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Youngblood. Jacka Livingston. Oh, I'm sorry, Roderick Jones.
That's right, Mr. Evan Garcia next on the docket. Is that not?
He already had a detention hearing, evidently, I guess, with one of the other judges.
He did, Judge. At 8:30, Judge Porter detained him.
Okay. Yeah, Judge, you did a detention hearing with Judge Porter. Sorry about that. We didn't give you notice. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're waiting for Roderick Jones.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Adniji.
Are we in any luck this morning?
All right, Mr. Jones, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, deciding whether to release you or keep you. Because of seriousness of your offense, this is the murder charge out of spending the night at your friend's house and shooting, I guess, friend's mother's boyfriend while he was sleeping or in bed. So I know you've been here for a long time. I feel bad about it, but it's so serious. I'm not comfortable releasing you on this offense. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Adniji.
Am I excused?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to come back tomorrow?
Is there court setting tomorrow? Mr. Nava's not here today. I'm
covering for him, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Mr. Adniji, is there a setting tomorrow?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
At 9:30 for the status setting.
Okay, so Mom, I would call Mr. Adniji. Are we still looking at jury trial for this, Mr. Adniji?
From my end, I don't think so, but from your end, it may look like it.
Okay. So, do we expect anything to resolve tomorrow, Mr. Adniji?
No.
Okay. So, Mom, based on the attorney, it looks like the DA and your son's attorney are not very close in working this out. So, there is a court setting tomorrow, but it looks like there's not going to be a resolution. So, probably don't need to show up.
Okay.
I
will keep you updated, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Adniji. All right, Mr. Livingston, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Ms. Hamrick is your attorney. Let's see.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, hello, Ms. Hamrick. All right, so we issued a DTA for you in October. You were unsuccessfully discharged from TYRC for hitting another student. So we have a court hearing on December 15th for aggravated robbery. And you're level 2. Yeah, Mr. Livingston, you're not level 1-0. I'm not going to release you. All right, you're ordered detained. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We didn't have a parent for him?
No, sir. I called her. I haven't gotten a response this morning.
Okay. And we have some parents in the waiting room, but they all showed up after 10:30, so. All right. Devette Moore. Or DeVay Moore. All right, Mr. Moore, I'm Judge Kim. It's a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. Ms. Sherman is your attorney. She is here present.
Your Honor, his dad is on Zoom, and then his aunt, Tina Walker, is also on Zoom today.
Okay,
His
so
dad
Tina Walker is the aunt. Who is dad?
was on earlier.
Is it?
See him now.
I mean, I see a Deborah Simmons, a Claudia Udu, and an Aristo 4+.
He had the same name. Moore was Devette Moore.
Okay.
I don't know. He was on earlier. I guess he got off.
All right, I don't see him. Okay. All right, so Mr. Moore, been here for 10 days. You're level 1 outstanding. You're 16. Let's see, police were dispatched for domestic in November. Your sister said that you hit her with a lampshade while arguing about the remote. She gave you the remote and you began to choke her, struck her in the right knee with a metal popcorn can, punched her in the back. So she and her little sister hid in grandma's room until you got back. Okay, but they signed a non-prosecution. Grandma said you went to Illinois to live with Dad after this happened. Before coming to detention, you were supposed to go back to Illinois, but got up in Dallas and missed your bus. Got back to Fort Worth and rode at the pier. And during then, you were arrested for theft of a firearm. Dad sent his sister Tina to Fort Worth to take custody if you're released. said it wasn't guaranteed. And if we do release the aunt, then she's responsible for bringing him back. All right, so Tina, your aunt, you drove down from Chicago to come here? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you on? It doesn't say you're muted. I just can't hear you. Well, so who's covered for Mr. Nava? Is that Ms. Turnerhill? Were you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm texting her to tell her we can't hear her.
So aunt came down from Chicago?
Yes, sir. That's my understanding. Oh, she's here.
She's here.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to text her. I can call her if that's okay, or do you want to?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Ms. Sherman, do you mind if I ask your client a couple questions related to the placement or family?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so DeVay, I know we're having audio problems with your aunt. So where does your aunt live?
I think she stays in Dallas.
Dallas, so locally here in the area?
Yes, sir.
There, she's nodding. All right. Who else lives in that house?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay,
I
she's
think she's using her phone for Zoom, so I'm not able to talk to her.
Okay, well, that's fine. All right. All right, Ms. Turnerhill, can you look up? It says level outstanding since today. How far did he drop? Don't answer this one, DeVay. All right, I'm asking the probation officer.
He was a level 3 confined on December the 1st, and it's like he's just working his way back up to level 1 outstanding.
Okay, so he hit it. Why was he level 3 confined? Was it some kind of
It
fight?
says, no, not staying in the program.
Oh. What was the theft of firearm? Was that out of a car, or he just had it, or bring it to a home? Do we know?
Your Honor, I believe that case has been dismissed.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was non-suited by the DA.
Okay. So we're just looking at the family violence. So, Ms. Walker, I'm doing this so you can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down so you don't have to say anything. Are there any other children in your home? No. Okay. You work? Okay. How are we going to supervise your nephew while you're at work? Is that going to be possible, or we just have to trust him? You have to trust him.
Yeah.
All right. And you're in Dallas County, is that correct?
Your Honor, if I may, I believe we have a final disposition hearing on this on the 16th. And if he can just be released to his aunt pending that, if you want to put him on electronic monitor or whatever, and then the end goal is for him to go back and live with his father in Illinois.
So, Ms. Walker, I need to make sure you understand something. If I release your nephew to you, you understand you're signing a piece of paper that says if he does not appear for court, court can issue a warrant for your arrest. Okay, as the responsible person that takes him. Are you willing to take on that responsibility and that risk? Okay. All right, so DeVay, you've worked your way up on the behavior level. I'm going to go ahead and release you on electronic monitor and a sweat patch. That means you cannot use any kind of controlled substance, right? Release you to your aunt. But the last thing, if you run off and don't show up to court, then we will issue a warrant for your aunt and she will sit in the Tarrant County Jail until we find you. Okay, so don't do that to your aunt. She deserves better. She's here going to bat for you. Don't disrespect her like that, okay? All right, we'll go ahead and release them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dylan Moore. With Ms. Taylor. I think I saw Ms. Taylor earlier.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Moore, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Taylor is your attorney and she is here. So you were brought here for possession and control of substance, penalty group 2 under a gram. CPS called indicating that you were in the home punching walls in grandma's house. There's police. Showed up, they had to call a second officer. So CPS is saying that you take your grandma's car without permission and have wrecked her vehicle. Is the department here?
Yes, sir.
No, Your Honor, not on this current Zoom feed.
But he's in custody, conservatorship of the department, right?
No, sir. They are involved with the household, but he is not currently in any type of CPS custody.
Okay. Grandma here?
She was, Your Honor. I can't find her on the Zoom feed currently, but she did log in at 10:30.
What is her name?
Her name is Janet Powell.
Oh, I saw her earlier. Okay. Yeah. All right, well, Dylan, I don't have a parent to release you to. It's kind of a consequence of your situation that you created. So I don't know if your grandma supports you coming home or if she doesn't, but if she's not here, there's not much you can do. So Dylan, if you have a question for me, I'm happy to answer it. If you want to tell me something, I'm pretty sure your attorney does not want you to tell me a story. So do you have a question or you want to tell me something?
Yes, it's a question.
Okay.
My nana, I told her to come.
Okay, so this doesn't sound like a question.
No, she was coming, and like I told her to make sure to come because my attorney told me that she was voting on me to go home today, and I was gonna ask you if it was okay for me to be put on a monitor because that would be the great thing because I know I did wrong. This is all helping me very, very, very good. I'm glad that I'm here. This done helped me so much from everything it done from. Yes, I do run from laws, but I need to stop doing that because I got a family at the house that is depending on me right now.
Judge, if we may we please be put on the detention hearing docket for tomorrow morning? And I'll make sure Janet's here. Dylan's worked very hard. He's level 1 outstanding. His case is on file.
Ms. Taylor, are you comfortable with this one?
I am.
We don't need a detention docket. If you get grandma to agree to it, let me know. We'll sign the order.
Thank you, Judge.
We don't have to put them on the docket.
Okay, I'll get her on the phone right now. I'll hopefully let you know something by the end of the detention.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Taylor. Isaac Murray. Is purple the color this year?
Looks like it, right? I didn't even notice that, Judge.
It looks fabulous on all of y'all. I'll say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so Isaac Murray. Isaac, you are 15 years old. It's a 10-day hearing deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, see a judge every 10 days. If I release you, you got to come back to court. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Ms. Keenan is Ms. Perkins is your attorney. Ms. Tracy is your attorney. So, all right. Referred for aggravated robbery. Oh, this is the ice cream truck.
This is, yes, he's the co-defendant to Marshall Dudley, which you did release earlier with stipulations. And I've read through all the reports as well, and there's nothing that says that Isaac had the gun or used the gun. It's very unclear, as Mr. Kroll, I think, pointed out earlier, that of who had the gun. The gun was found, said, in the back of the car that was driven by Mr. Robinson. So I would like to request that Isaac be released.
I'm so sorry, Tracy. I do want to add that I read the supplemental and they are indicating that when the adult companion provided a statement, he did indicate that he was the driver and drove both Marshall Dudley and Isaac and a third person to the offense location. He indicated that Murray was the individual who set up the incident, stating that the plan was to steal a set of headphones from the victim. He reported that Murray and JT were in possession of the two guns, but they were BB guns. And then all those weapons were inside the stolen vehicle. And that was on the supplemental that was received.
Mom, you're here. Mom, do you work?
Do I work? I work from home.
You work from home.
Yes.
So, Ms. Rojas, why is you only got to level 1 a couple days ago? What happened?
He had on the 2nd of December, he wasn't following instructions ×8, slow to comply, and then talking.
Isaac, I released your co-companion today, and every situation is different. At this point, I'm not okay releasing. I will let you know why and what's different so you understand. One thing that's different is you're older than him. So I expect the older you are, the more mature you are, the more I expect from you, okay? The other thing is he was with level 1.0 from the very beginning, and you're not. Slow to comply ×8. That means on that date, you just decided you're gonna do it your way and you don't give an F what other people say or tell you what to do. And I'm not gonna put you back in your mom's house with that kind of attitude, all right? So we'll see at the 10-day hearing, prove to me that you have a change in heart and change in attitude. And I'm open to releasing you, but I'm not gonna do it to put you back in a situation where you're gonna do whatever the heck you want to do. So Isaac, do you have a question for me or do you want to tell me something?
He said the reason I lost some points is because my mask was under my nose.
Okay, so this is, I'm not looking for you to tell me something. I've made my decision. You're older, so I expect more from you, right? That's just the way it is. So my expectations are higher for a 15, almost 16-year-old than they are for a 14 or just turned 14-year-old. And so you got to do better to get better. All right, Mom, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, but I'm not going to put him back in your home if Isaac's just going to give you an attitude and do whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't give me attitude.
It's okay. So, Mom, I'm having trouble believing that. If he had 8 times of slow to comply in 1 day here, then he has a problem with authority. So
What's code appliance? You said code appliance?
slow to comply.
Okay.
Okay. So what that tells me is either, it has nothing to do with whether you love your son. What it tells me is either 1, you are enabling him by not expecting much from him, or 2, that you don't have the structure of the rules, right? And
I
so
don't
that's
enable him. When wrong is wrong, then wrong is wrong. I don't enable my son to do anything or for anything.
well.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. At home, he respects me. He listens to me.
I don't understand. Well, then why is he out with a gun running over the guys robbing ice cream guys?
Just a mistake he made. Just a horrible mistake that he made.
For you to tell me, for any parent to tell me that a 15-year-old boy does everything they're supposed to do that the parents tell me to, I find that hard to believe. I don't know. I mean, 15-year-old boys make mistakes. They defy their parents. That's part of the process, right? So
On the wrong group of kids, made a bad choice. I mean,
Your Honor, if I may, this is sounding like that we're getting into the offense, and I would like to not have anything discussed about offense or anything else at this time for my client's sake. So
that's fine. So
I know technically his mom's not my client, but at the same time, I got to protect my client.
I understand. So, yeah, there's no reason to go into the facts of the case. But yeah, at this point, Isaac, you got to show me that if I release it, that you're gonna do the right thing, and I'm not convinced yet, especially based on how serious this offense is. All right, prove to me that you can do better, and then I'll give you better. Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Murray. Victor Rios.
Judge Kim, I'm covering for Ms. Guerrero.
That's unacceptable.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Rios, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to release you or keep you here. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to an attorney, which is Mr. Adler. And you have the right to remain silent. All right, so guy came back, saw his home had been burglarized, a Ring doorbell and patio camera, 2 game systems, a pistol, AR-15, and cash were stolen. And then police caught up with the suspect vehicle, traffic stop, evading, then pulled over. 2 adults and Victor were taken into custody. They found a game system. And then, let's see, Estrada said Rios went into the house. They dropped off the AR at Rios's house, which was later recovered. During the evasion, they threw the handgun and Xbox out the window. They found the Xbox, but not the pistol. We have a parent here?
Your Honor, I know she had trouble logging in.
Okay. I mean, I see Claudia Udu, and the rest of them are just like letters or phone names, so I don't know who they are.
The mom's name is
very last on the docket.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, Miss Udu is the mom for the very last one on your docket, Your Honor.
I'll let her in now. Victor, you don't have a parent here. I'm not sure why, but I'm deeply concerned about breaking a house, taking guns. And then now evidently one of the guns is lost for some kid to walk down the street and pick it up. So I appreciate your level 1 now. You've actually been there for a little while. That's a good thing. I guess it's what you're doing, Victor, is you're getting me to start thinking about releasing you. I'm not quite comfortable yet. You got to keep it up. Okay. It's a process, but stay on that right path. Okay. All right. Thank you, Victor. Aldo Solis.
And I'm covering for Selena Aguirre today.
What do you think, Miss Blair? Should I let her? All right, so Mr. Solis, I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day hearing deciding whether to release you or keep you here. If I release you, see a judge every 10 days. Your attorney is Mr. Adler, who is also here.
And I do have mom on Zoom. She's also wearing a purple shirt today. Monica Calvillo.
I missed the memo. All right, so, okay, Aldo, please brought you aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, family violence. You're saying Your dispatch for domestic, your brother said he was driving on the road. Oh, this is not, this is Starbucks one. And so you pulled a silver, when you got home, pulled out a silver knife and said you're gonna shank him. All right, so Mom, you were here, right? Monica? You're on mute. Can you take yourself off mute, please? I will try. Or is she frozen? No. All right, so Mom, we have this, we have Starbucks, we have the brother. The brother still lives in your home, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other place for Aldo to live other than your home?
No, his dad lives in Austin, but I don't want him to go there. Can he stay with me?
Well, I'm worried about your other son.
Aldo is a good boy, but I think he only do that when he's taking drugs or something like that.
What kind of drugs?
The only one that I know is with
Is what?
with
Ms. Shadler, help me.
Whips, Your Honor.
Oh, like whippets?
Yeah, whippets.
No marijuana? Monica, Ms. Cavillo, no marijuana? I'm talking to Mom. Monica,
Sorry, I can hear you.
your son doesn't smoke marijuana?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. So Mom, where does he get the whippets from?
I don't know.
Okay, Mom, we'll give him a chance. Go ahead
And Your Honor, Mom said that she can pick them up, but it won't be till late this afternoon.
So, Mom, I'm gonna go ahead and release him, or Ms. Rather, I guess you probably need to interpret. I'll release him to her. He's gonna electronic monitor and a sweat patch. See what other drugs he's using. All right.
Mónica, el juez lo va a dejar ir esta tarde con usted,
Okay, muy bien.
pero le va a poner el monitor electrónico y le va a poner algo en el brazo a ver qué drogas está usando. Sí está usando drogas, ¿ok?
Okay, gracias.
It is
Thank
Mom's
you.
responsibility to tell us if Aldo is causing problems, because he needs to come back here if he is.
Yes, I will.
Si se está portando mal o tienes problemas con él, por favor llama a la señora Celina, porque el juez lo va a traer otra vez a la detención.
Okay, thank you.
Aldo, don't waste the chance. You know I don't have to let you go right now, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Okay. I'm giving you this chance. Don't waste this chance. There's a lot of kids back there that you see that had their chance, they burned it, right? Don't be one of them, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
So at this point, these proceedings have been published to the public for observation of court proceedings. However, Texas Family Code specifically states in 5408 that when a child is under 14 years old, that the proceedings are presumed to be closed to the public. And so, unless the court makes a finding otherwise, and so the court will now discontinue the live stream. It's going to take about 20 seconds for a burn off. So just please bear with me. So what I have to do is I have to remove Ms. Udu. I know you're there. And so I'm